Check. We are here at Syndicate store. My name is Regan Thompson.
And I am Keaton Mitchell.
We're here at Syndicate store. The reason that you're watching this video is because the Flavor Scooters Jasper V2, aka Jabberwolf, my good friend Jasper Russell Dennis, his signature deck version 2 is dropping. We're going to try and get into it. We've got the deck here, as you can see, Keaton modeling that for you. We're going to run through the specs. So we've done some pretty in-depth measurements on this scooter. So with the measurements we give you, you can compare it to what you're already riding and decide whether this might be a better option for you than the scooter that you've already got. In no particular order, we've got it all written on there. So the length of the scooter is 587 millimeters, which is 23 inches. So that's the length on top. If you flip it over, you'll see that it's actually, because of the way the deck angles, oh yeah, no, you got it. The way the deck angles a little bit, the length on the bottom is actually 575 millimeters. So depending where people measure, you know, whatever. But the length that really matters when comparing lengths, Keaton will tell you.
It's the length from the back axle to where the front axle would be if there was a fork here.
With 10 millimeter offset,
yeah.
Like a tilt fork, a flavor fork, an apex fork, pretty much every single fork. And that measurement is, Keaton?
655 millimeters.
So yeah, we don't have the breakdown for that in inches, which we could have done, should have done, but didn't. Doesn't really matter. We all know 587 millimeters, 23 long, 23 inches long, the Jabber. So, but 655 millimeters. That's not. You wouldn't hear of companies saying, oh yeah, this is the 650 or the 640 mil. But you can get a tape measure and run it from your front fork to the back fork, because that's what's actually really important. That's like the ratio of your scooter. You could have a tiny blunt space on a 23 long deck, and it could ride shorter than a 22 deck with a long blunt space.
That's where all your hop comes from. The hop comes from the actual length,
not the length of the deck. If this deck was running, if this head tube was right to the front of the deck, this would ride like a friggin' 24. Like, see, this head tube's actually recessed back a little bit into the deck. So
this axle could be all the way back here, and it would still say that it's a 23,
yeah.
But you're not getting that.
Yeah, the axle furthest to the back, better. But this is good that there's heaps of room behind the axle, makes it strong so it can't rip out like the old V1 Addicts had. Foot room is 415 millimeters. So maybe what we'll actually do is all these specs, we'll put them in the description with inches translated for people who go inches. The width on top we know is 4.8 wide.
Or 120 mils.
Yes, and because the deck is
completely
flat on the sides,
it's the same on the bottom. 120 mil, 4.8 inches wide.
Yeah, I'll let you read through some of these, because Keaton actually took all these measurements while I was over on the computer being all managerial and stuff.
Alright, so the grind rails. The width of each grind rail is 35 millimeters.
So 70 millimeters of flatness on your board slide. If you want to do some science on, you know, drag to surface area, molecular violation, gastronomy, I made up like a bunch of those words.
No, the first part was in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, 5/0 rim. So 50 millimeters of 5/0 rim from the outside to where the wheel would sit.
Yes.
Yeah, so
some decks corner in a little bit, like a District. They've always been at 5 oval, but they've also had a corner. Paramounts, they're 5 oval, but they've got a corner. From here, where your wheel would be, to there, you've got 50 millimeter, 5 centimeters. It's pretty decent. That's a big chunk of 5 oval.
Bigger than a lot of even 5 wide.
Even 5 wide decks that taper in on the sides. So, yep.
Crook groove. 50 millimeters of crook groove, so good for the circle rails.
Just good for crooks. A lot of decks are not coming with crook grooves at all nowadays, so yeah, and it's quite a deep little crook groove too. So, not bad at all.
blunt space.
Blunt
The blunt space is 65 millimeters from the end of the deck to where a fork would sit if it was sideways, because you don't blunt with your forks forwards, you blunt
Obviously
with
you can't, because your wheel
sideways.
would be
Yeah,
in the way.
so
Turn it sideways.
65 mil of blunt room.
Yep.
Nose grind space. That's
I'll just explain this one. If people still don't really do them, but I guess that's the way decks are made. You can do them on districts, you can do them, there's a lot of decks you can actually do them on, but you know, say we'll use it, oh what, 2 jabbers? Can you just hold this for me? So if you're doing a crook over crook, you like that, alright? But there's nose grinds where you come on from this side and stay on this side. You either parallel or stay on this side. You don't let the back wheel go over the rail or ledge. That is what I like to call a nose grind. And I've done a couple of them, but I wish I got better at them. I just stopped doing them, but they're a really cool trick and they're still not really utilized enough by riders. But yeah, that's a good thing to have. So how much room does that have for the nose grinds?
32 millimeters.
32 millimeters. So that means it's 3.2 of a centimeter, this much, to get parallel on a grind. So yeah, if you do them, someone do one of those, tag me in it, I want to see it. But anyway, yeah, jabbers are good for that.
The weight with the axle and the brake and the deck ends,
Full assembly.
fully assembled, is 1.76 kilograms.
1.76.
Yeah, so
Decks are getting heavy, like because of how big they are. Like that's not heavy, but you know, like Ethic
for a
1.1 and stuff. They're
Yeah.
the only deck that's like light. All these street decks, yeah, they're up there. Without
the axle and brake, it's
raw deck material.
1.5.
1.5, so there's 200 grams worth of brake and axle and spacer and deck end.
Yeah.
So according to what you want to do, some people will take the brake straight off. Some people you could take your deck ends out. I wouldn't suggest that, but you know, if you really want it light at the back, yeah.
Alright, the brake is 120 mil a meter compatible.
And it's a new brake. It's a new flavor brake. It's not the same old flavor brake. It's thinner.
Got a bit of a curve to it.
Curved,
Keep the
thinner,
wheel
so it
curved.
won't break as easy as that thick one. The other one was like too thick, I think we all established.
Yeah. Too rigid and just nah. This one seems like it's gonna last a lot longer. Head tube angle.
I'll take it from here. 82.5 degrees as far as we know, just because I know that this is the Awakening, and that was always 83 head tubes weren't even happening when they were very rarely happening when the Awakening came out. It's forged. It's 100 millimeters from top to bottom, and sorry if I don't know how to pronounce the artist right. Ahnand, or Ahn and Unka, is Jasper's friend, and I'm pretty sure that's Jasper's personal tattoo artist, the person who does all the tattoos on Jasper. If you haven't seen him, he's tatted from head to toe. Has done the wolf with the crescent moon on the top, and the crescent moon down there on the bottom, and the wolf, you know, Jasper, Jabber Wolf. That concludes the specs.
Yeah. I guess now we should speak about the new deck end system.
We'll just check the camera's still filming. And it was never filming.
Was it actually not?
Oh, dude. Where did it cut on? What were we doing?
You said before we start with the deck ends, I'm just gonna check if it's filming.
Oh, and then trolled you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So there will be like an awkward cut somewhere here. I was actually planning, whether it happens or not, getting Reese to actually edit up this video properly anyways. So, now we're going to take you guys through the deck ends. It now comes with deck ends that you insert. See, it always had deck ends, but the last time they were just I got zapped. They were not perfect the way that the axle tightened from the outside. So this is, as you can see, slides in. Now, once it's slid in, well, before you slide it in, you'll get this piece of metal. Boom. Put one in there. One in your other deck end. Doosh, doosh, doosh. And then you slide your deck ends in. Now, this is the way I'm going to do it so that I can show you guys. Keaton, don't let them fall in, okay? I want to show the people. And then, from one side, you'll get your axle. Your axle will go through there, and then it'll go through the deck, and then it'll go not onto your nut, onto a spacer, then your wheel will go in. Put that through, then you put your other spacer in, and then that'll go through that side. So imagine, obviously there's the deck extrusion between on either side of the spacer and the wheel in the middle, and then this goes through, boom. Now the axle's all the way in. See how it's not protruding out the other side? See how there's a little hexagon shape? So in that little hexagon shape, you'll put the nut and then tighten, and then it all pulls. And what it does is the head cap of the bolt and the nut of the bolt, once tightened up, push on those long metal spaces. Those long metal spaces push on the side walls of the deck. The side walls of the deck push on these spaces, and these spaces push on on the wheel. You get what I'm saying? So that is how it works. It cannot be much simpler than that. And yeah, that's let me just grab that out. See, it is there's the nut. It'll tighten like that. Now, hold on a second. Here's one I prepared earlier. I was meant to mention this at the start of the video because I wasn't sure if all of you guys would wait this long, or if you would just get bored of our video. I think it's a pretty good video. We went through the legit specs of the scooter, so
was the brake always bottom mounted?
The brake is now bottom mounted.
Okay.
The new brake is bottom mounted. By the way, the new brake is bottom mounted. We are, by the time you see this video, these decks will be available for pre-order on www.syndicatestreetstore.com, and it'll be about a week after this video drops that we will actually have them in stock and start shipping them out. The price will be 219 Australian dollars. This is the cheapest deck of its kind. Long, wide, square back, square front, forged head tube. Not many others can compare, like especially for that price. Yeah. So yeah, free Syndicate grip tape with every deck you purchase from us. As usual, we also have free shipping. But while we're here, I just want to say a huge shout out to Jasper Russell Dennis, Jabba Wolf. At the time of filming this video, he's filming clips in Southeast Asia with the Friendly Boys and some of the singer dudes. So congratulations to him on one of the most popular signature decks in scootering to date. It's just the amount of hype I hear for this deck, the amount of kids that have called us asking, is the Jabba Wolf coming, is the Jabba Wolf coming, is the Jabba Wolf coming? Yeah, so we might even get our homie Casey in to do a tutorial on how to turn your Jabba 23 into a 22 as well, for some of the smaller kids that want to run the Jabba. Because for the smaller dudes, this would be like the perfect deck. If it was like a 21, because it's 4.8, you know, it would be like perfect, really light. But yeah, shout out to Dean from Flavor Scooters as well for, you know, making 6 parts happen, for making awesome stuff happen for his team riders. It's yeah, the way scooter companies need to do it. And yeah,
Syndicate. Syndicate.
Actually, don't.